Hi everybody, today in OT group we're going to work on all the different things we can do with blocks. Blocks are great to work on our grasp patterns, to practice hand-eye coordination, hand strengthening, crossing midline, which we've talked a lot about individually, motor control, turn taking, and pre-academic skills. Like we can count the blocks, use colors, make patterns, lots of different things we can work on. So the grasp pattern that we're looking for, we can hold a block like this with all of our fingers. There's no space then between the block and the palm of our hand. But as we use the blocks more and more and strengthen our hands, we'll start to see a gap between the block and the palm of our hand. And this is what we're looking for. We're looking for 1, 2, 3 fingers. The other two are tucked and a space between the palm of our hand and the block. This is what we're looking for. This is the end goal. You can practice this by using blocks of different sizes, see what fits in your student's hand best, and also smaller blocks will make them have to use only 3 fingers because you can't fit all 5 on there. You can also practice strengthening this type of grasp by using things like clothespins or tweezers, tongs, things like that you have at home will all help develop and promote this grasp. So when we use blocks, we can stack them. You can count as you stack. See how we have to use 2 hands together to hold the tower, so we can go up really high. We can count how high we can get our tower. We can knock it over. If your student has difficulty stacking the blocks to create a tower, you can do a couple for them and have them just put the last one on. Slowly add how many they add and decrease how many you add to get them more used to it, and then always let them knock the tower over at the end for a reward. So we can also use a container and do container play. So the bigger the opening is, the easier it'll be. So we can cross midline if the container's over here on my left side. With my right hand, I'm crossing across my body to put into the container. We can do the same thing if I pick it up with my left hand, move the container over here so that I reach to my other side. So you can work on that. If you add the lid and cut a hole in the top, you can put the blocks through the hole, which will only make it more difficult and add a challenge for hand-eye coordination and our accuracy. If we stack a tower, we can do some pretend play by rolling a car into it, rolling a ball to knock down the tower. As we get more and more blocks and really good at building towers, we can build walls, bridges, things to drive the cars underneath or around and through different towers. So you can have all sorts of fun with play once we get the skill of building with blocks. So we said we can work on container play to cross midline. Like I said, the smaller opening will make it more and more difficult, so you can challenge your student. You can also do color matching. You can just take any colored markers that match your blocks and on a piece of paper make some squares and have your student match the blocks to those colors. See how accurate they can get if the square is the exact same size as your block. See if they can get it exactly on that square. You can also do this with bins and continue container play. If you have colored bins or bowls, cups, or empty bottles that match the colors of your blocks, you can have your student do container play and sort by color. This is a great way to practice fine motor skills and color matching, counting, all of those different things. So you can also do a pattern. If you have blocks that are lots of similar colors and you make a pattern for your student, see if they can copy it. So this one goes purple, blue, yellow, orange. See if they can make the same one. The other thing you can do is practice manipulative tracing. So if you draw some lines, some shapes, some squiggly lines on your paper, you can do manipulative tracing, which means we take our blocks and we follow the line all the way along. This is great to practice your pre-writing shapes, to do this in a different way besides just plain old paper and pencil. There's a song at the end of the handout to build with your blocks, so I hope you all have fun, and I will see you next week.